Hello and welcome. Today is a very sad day because it's the end of the FIDE World Championship in Singapore 2024. And yeah, with that, we just jump right in. No long talk before we go into it. I just open up Opera and give you the short introduction as you are used to now for the last 13 days of play. And this is, of course, by International Master Andras Toth. He was thinking that it is nice not just to spectate the games, but also learn from them. So he is giving us like 4 or 5 positions for each game, and we have to play basically guess the move. Yeah, so what is the best next move? How's the variation going? And so on. It's very educational, and for me, it's really a tough session every time because it's World Championship level, and I'm not a world champion. So, yeah, so here again, my best sentence from the introduction is: tactics and strategic problems to solve. Train your skills from games at the very highest level. We started on the 25th of November. Today is the 13th, Friday the 13th of December 2024. And the king is dead. Long live the king. So, Gukesh, very well done. And hats off to Ding. I really hoped that we would have a match like this. Everyone was like saying Gukesh will easy win in like 7-8 games or so, but he didn't. So yeah, we'll see how this game went. Game number 14, and before we go into game 14, we of course need to find out the number of reviews we have to do. So for every game, yeah, where we got the answer right, we didn't have to do anything sooner or later. So, but when we got it wrong, yeah, Chessable has this MoveTrainer concept. It's also called spaced repetition, where you are frequently given positions that you got wrong. So you learn only what you need to learn. So if you got positions correct, they will be put down all the way at the bottom of the stack. And if you got it wrong, all the way at the top. So it will be presented frequently until you know it, and it will be put to the bottom. So this is a super, super nice way to learn. My favorite learning technique is repetition anyway. So there are statistics that you need to put information like 7 times into your short-time memory and to get it into your long-term memory. If it's really, really important, only once is needed, but otherwise 7 times. So these circles are really appreciated. And now we jump right into it. So I click on review, and I see we have 28 reviews from all the games of this World Championship. And for game 14, I think it is 3 variations. So we'll see how it will go. And we click on the review session. The first review is from game number 7. And here it says an interesting alternative, denying black from creating a pawn chain with b7, b5. Now black has a dynamic sequence that secures a small but firm edge. What could you play? This, of course, is a repetition for me, so I should know it now by heart, but they're so difficult, and yeah, that I sometimes just don't get them. Hopefully I get them right today. So here I remember that it is the pawn to e5. That is correct. And now we have a very nice thing to do. It is exchanging queens. The rook has to take, and then we have the pawn freely available for our knight. So we have a way better position than the closed center with the double pawns. Okay, so take and take. And that was correct. Well, a good start into a great session, hopefully. So then, this was in game number 9. Gukesh had the white pieces. This was a very interesting alternative. Can you find the best moves for white in this line? Hopefully I can, we'll see. So here it was taking knight. Then we took the bishop. Now we took the other bishop. We didn't care that this is going to be taken. And now we just attack the queen. And now we give a check. Is it giving check now? I always forget this, the move order. Check, then this, and then this. I think it is check first. We'll see. Yes, correct. And now a wonderful move. It is the bishop to f3. The queen has to go away from our rook, and we can take the rook. So, second review also done. And we're good to go. We're on a streak. So, this is game number 10. This ambitious move does not work here. Can you see why? Yes, I remember this. And it is all about majority. Whew, sorry. It was a hard week. It's Friday and already kind of late. So here it is, black having 3 defenders for the pawn, the bishop, the knight, and the queen, and we have 3 attackers. So it is the knight, the pawn, and the queen. So why not getting rid of one of the defenders by playing this? Then we take, and now we have to make decisions here. So I think it is taking with the pawn. That is correct. And now we have and here I never know the correct move order, guys. So this was the bishop or the knight to e5. But that's what I think all the time. And we also have the move bishop d3. Just securing everything. And this is what I'm going to play. We see if this is correct. And it is correct. Very well done. With a sensational position where white has a massive center and the bishop prepared to boot. Okay. Continuing here, now we are in the second variation of game 10. Continuing this previous line, we are now going to examine how such dynamic advantages often lead to direct assaults. What would you play here? And here we could pin the knight to the queen with the bishop on e5. Correct. And now we have an attack. And I might do a mistake here, but I think it is taking with the queen. Yes. Okay, and now we have a double attack on the knight on f6. But if we do that right away, taking with the bishop, sorry. Taking with the bishop right away, we would just hang our bishop on d3. That's why the in-between move, rook e3, is necessary. Yes, that worked. And now we need to find the next moves. And this is a super combination. And I didn't find that on the first go. It was taking with the bishop. And now we have a double mate threat situation. And that is bringing up the queen to f7 with a possible checkmate on g7, or bringing the rook then to h3, also a checkmate. Yes. Nice, also correct. Like, this is a few in a row, which is very nice, of course. Okay. So then we just continue and click on next variation, of course. Okay, what should be the next phase in converting this endgame? Difficult, but I think I remember this now, and it is, I know when I first did this, I only had it half correct, and it was lots of thinking time. Oh, I don't know what it is. I'm just tired. But chess is more important than sleep, at least. So I'm so proud that I get this final episode of the World Championship match in tonight, and this should not be missed. So it is e5, correct. And now we need to secure the queen side, also correct. And now we bring in the g-pawn alternative. So this one, and this one, and this one. And here I struggle. Here I always have to find out what it is. And I think it is the g-pawn. That is correct. And here I can simply take. Yes. And now I need to bring up the pawns for exchanges, so I get the e4 pawn. Yes. So I can just run through and get it. And right resigned as a loss of the e4 pawn at the very least is inevitable. Okay, very nice. So we continue. And we have the following. So, might seem like a logical follow-up, but this is a slight inaccuracy. In a strategical sense, a mistake even. How would you react? This is game 11. Gukesh playing the white pieces, and Ding, of course, black. So, here I have to think, because I don't remember it anymore. And this is, of course, why do I do the reviews? It's pattern recognition, memorization, and general understanding of how this position works, of course. So it doesn't make sense to just memorize these things. Also, the understanding needs to be there. That's why I'm trying to give you my thoughts here in addition. So, I think it is simply developing, and this is knight to b6. Correct. So now take. That doesn't work with the queen, so we need one more defender for d4. Oh, the fourth time I'm counting. Okay, so I think it is now e5. Let's see. Also correct. What to do now? Taking with the pawn. Yes, and now we have the bishop to c5 and castling, and we should be good as black. Correct. Super good. So perhaps this is 11, game 11, and perhaps the most interesting point in the opening. Gukesh now has many valid ideas to pick from. He hastily played played d3, but there was a better and more fun way to play here. Can you spot it? What was it? I think it is developing the bishop to d3. But as always, is that correct? I think it is. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know anymore. And it was incorrect. Ah, yes, I forgot this one. Yes. This is a very committal move, c5, one that requires a deep consideration. The issue is that such a pawn chain can often become easy targets. On the other hand, this move extends white space advantage and also allows the f1 pawn to shine on c4 or b5. d3 was played by Gukesh initially. This is the better move. Okay, so we have to do that and just go. We have that one now. And here this was so difficult. I probably would go bishop b5. Yes. Check. This is developed and we get castle now, I think. Would be supernatural move. We do that. It's an alternative, so not bad or wrong. But we need one move for the computer to finish this. So my idea here would be just to take with the bishop. That way we have well, if he takes the queen, we just take the queen, and yeah, then he would need to go with the pawn on c6, and we would take that with the bishop and have yeah, we cannot retake actually, but it would still have some nice pressure going on. Okay, so can we take that? The issue is, of course, what happens if he goes b5, a5, or first a6, pushing my bishop away. I would need it still to go to a4 and still having that pressure on the diagonal. So this is something that we should consider, and there is a better move. Yes, I think now it is d3 to stop the pawn from advancing. Yes, we will do this. Correct. Okay, and now, yes, now we can play the bishop a4, as we said. And now if he takes, we take with the pawn, and he cannot take because yeah, it is defended by my rook. So this is also right. Next variation. Tempting but wrong. White is now required to play energetic and aggressive chess to prove this wrong. Your move. It is queen e4, attacking the pawn on b7. Let's go. Yes. So now I need to find the next move. So it is probably attacking the knights as they are defending each other, and this doesn't work well. So we need to separate them and then have the chance to win. So this one went to c1. We still have the queen now. We have a long diagonal. So what to do? Which one to take? So nothing. I'm just checking the possible knight moves. So I really think it is taking the rook. Taking the rook to d4 or taking right away. I think we should. Maybe I'm wrong. We take with the pawn. Wrong. Ah, this move, yes, I forget it. That way we separate the queen and the rook. A brilliant intermezzo. Interestingly, one that also played a major role in the game. Got it. Okay. He smelled it, and now we are able to take this here. Yes. So this is the key capture. The remainder of the puzzle is your next exercise. So with that, we are going to check for the next variation, also in game 11, Gukesh white. And now comes the lovely finish. And the lovely finish is... Probably too premature, but e6 comes to my mind. Yes. But it's incorrect. Ah, yes. The reason why we got the queen away. We can move this and checking a threat mate and take the knight all at the same time. My fault. Next. Okay, now comes a lovely finish. So I move the queen here, which is good. Now I go up. Also nice. Now I go check. Okay. And now we had something, and that was yes, now I see it. Interesting. Yesterday I saw it right away. Now I didn't. So this is just taking the bishop, and if it gets taken, I just retake with the rook, and we have a super checkmate. Yes, this is correct. Okay. So with that, hold on. I just give you a waiting screen and then I'll go and get a quick drink. Hold on. I don't have a real be right back thing, so we're just going to do this. Yes, this works. In the meantime, I'm right back. Hold on. Okay. Hi, here again. I forgot the mic, so yeah, back here now. Here we're at game 11. Gukesh playing white and Ding black. And here we need to find the better way instead of 15g6. So I don't really remember it anymore, but I think we are good with normal development, and that is just putting the pawn to e6. That's what I'm going to try. Correct. Okay. And now, yeah, we just play the knight bishop move. Correct. And now we should castle. And now we just attack the queen. Alternative, so it's a very good move. Then I think the next good move is just playing the knight. Incorrect. Okay. So what's he saying? And now the threat of knight g6, followed by f4, is very challenging to dodge. Okay. Next variation. So we are only having 18 reviews before we go to the final game. And it is here, knight takes d5 would have been too greedy. Can you demonstrate how white obtains an edge now? It is by, we have a free pawn, grabbing the pawn, and now attacking the bishop. So we get a free view on the knight. Incorrect. Oh, you can you can take a look at every single knight for the past 5 nights when we did the reviews for the games. Every time I say I have to take a look at the whole board to see this move. And I forget it every single time. Okay, so the idea here is to push away the rook. And if the rook is being pushed, it's going to be really nice. It's not coming up. Hopefully, do we have something else out of game? Take a look at game number 11, 12, and 13. You will see it. I'm sorry. Okay. So here we have a new one. 17 reviews to go. This black's last move was definitely an unfortunate call. Allowing white to carry out his dangerous plan. How would you proceed? This is about capturing the bishop. And the bishop has a retreat square on f5. So we just hinder him from going there. We again hinder him from going there. And now we are having an attacker on d4, but that is fine. For now, we attack the bishop, and now we just have to remove the defender. 1, 2, now we can take. Yes, and we're good. And white has captured the intruder, a complicated but logical line. Next one, game 12, Ding. So, would have brought about some white complications. White now needs to play very energetically. What would you do? Now I have to think. Difficult. I forgot how to do this. Oh. I'd like to push back the bishop, but we also have a triple attack on d3. So how can I do this here? Taking the knight on c5. I hope it is. We'll see. Incorrect. And it was this one. Okay. It was about d3. How can we prevent it? Just go one step further on the board. So White's army is perfectly developed, which is a great cue for us to initiate to fight. Okay, and now here we are attacking the bishop by going here. Incorrect. It was just pushing the pawn. No. This idea needed to be seen before d4. White has to give up some material in order to fully exploit the initiative. Okay, this one was not on my mind. And now I forgot, I don't know. Problem. Hello YouTube, how are you tonight? So I hope you survived the day without the World Championship. It was a very dull day, like the world was empty without it. We are still going through the reviews from all the games before we will tackle game number 14. I'm really curious what International Master Andras Toth prepared for us, but we'll find out eventually after we got through the review sessions here. So I don't know, I have to admit. Maybe just take with the rook. I really don't remember, so I'll just take with the rook and we see. Incorrect, taking with the queen. Now we seize a point. If it weren't for knight d4, the c6 knight would be trapped. c6, c6. Knight d4. Okay. Take. Now we have the full thing. Would have brought about some wild complications. White now needs to play. What would you play here? Now it is taking with a knight, but with which one? I will take with this one. Alternative. Okay, so was it the other knight? Yes, it was 50-50 chance, and now we got it right, of course. Okay, so that is good, and we are ready to go for game number 12, Ding with Gukesh. So a valid alternative, but here too. White gains the upper hand. How? So we have 4 attackers on d4, and we should decide with which one to take. Last time it was the knight on b5. So what is wrong if we again take it? What else to do? Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So if you have ideas in chat, please let me know. My chat monitors are here. That's why I'm looking to the side. So yeah, I'm just going to take with the knight here. Or maybe even better, not taking right now, but attacking the c7 square. So we have a nice fork. So that is probably, what can he do to refute this? He could put his knight in ahead, and we could this bishop on d6, and we just take. So he has a very awkward pawn structure, and that's what I'm going to do. Is correct. Super nice. So now we are going to continue. And how are we going to continue? Is it taking now or still something else? Mm -hmm. Sometimes it's so hard to decide, and I'm going to choose this one here. This frees the bishop on the long diagonal. It is correct. So, and now I think it is natural to just take with the queen. Yup. Okay. But on the other hand, we also can just take the pawn on b7. So, is it pawn b7? Again, what do you think? In chat, hold on, I just look at something. So, okay. Hello chat, we need a solution here. Is it bishop g2 takes b7? We are doing the reviews and I forgot. We are in game 12 and I think it is. There's not much that we can do wrong here. Also, the pawn on a5 is hanging with an additional attacker on c7. So many options here. But we also have the knight that is also hanging. So what to do? I don't remember anymore. I'm greedy. I'm not a 2700 player, so I just take the knight with the queen. And it was correct. Super, love it. With total domination, black simply has too many things hanging while the white army is ready to pounce. Very good. We're now down to 14 review positions and we are continuing. Although many moves are winning here, Ding found the cleanest one. What was it? I think I remember this. It was giving a check. Yes, and it's all over, as after bishop takes f8, white will get a new queen. Here to that. Okay, good. Next variation. It is game 4, so already almost 2 weeks ago. Poses an interesting problem to which black has a very nice solution. How would you play? Here I remember it exactly, and I know what to do. That's quite nice. It is trying to get our bishop on d3 when the queen is also on c4. So we have a super nice fork, and you'll start this with attacking the pawn here. And now we take. And now we have the rook and the queen forkable, as I say. We just needed to find a way how to put our bishop on d3 without being taken by itself. And this is done by just forcing away the defenders. A defender is now the knight on d4. So how do we get that? We just play here, and he already went away, and we can now execute the fork. Okay, got it. That was a super quick one. And next variation, we only have 12 more to go before we go to game number 14. So here what do we have? A very natural move, which might have been the very move that it disallowed Ding to win the game. Moving the knight is the right idea, but d4 is not the right square. Okay, and here I remember again, it's of course a knight move, but it is knight to e1. Yes. So, and now I need to find the correct moves here. Now it is about disconnecting queen and rook, so the black pieces are all not coordinated and we are good to go. Yes. And now we need to attack the knight. So he loses either the knight or the rook. Sorry. Yes, very well done. I'm drinking something. Hold on. Yep, this was nice. We needed to find a way to attack the bishop too. So now the our bishop is free to retreat. Okay, we are for the review down to 10 review sessions, positions before we make it to game number 14. And we have the following. White now has 2 pawns hanging, a5 directly and e4 indirectly. Let's check. a5 directly and e4 indirectly. Yeah, if the knight gets taken, he can take with the knight. So we do this move, that is correct. And now we have to find a very nice thing here. And I think it is freeing the queen for the diagonal d1 h5. And we do this by just jumping with the knight to h4. That is at least my idea. And we see how that goes. Is it correct? Yes, it was correct. So now, what took place here? Yeah, now we have a fork for the knight and the g7 pawn by placing our queen on g4. And then we have a super mating net coming up. And that goes like this. We now take the pawn on g7. Correct. Ah, that was all the review on game 2, so you don't see the mating net. Just go back to game number 13. There it is explained in full and total, and you will see how this was done. But I'm happy that I can still remember this, because that was hard to find earlier on. We are now on game 3, and in extreme time trouble, Ding opts to grab some extra material, allowing a pretty finish. Can you spot it? Okay, and this was not trivial, I remember this. And this was by attacking a rook first. Again. The wrong rook. Yes. Okay. It turns out that the bishop pair packs a hefty punch and the rooks can't dodge the agile snipers. Correct. But first we have to play the correct moves. Now we're attacking the second. Also correct. And now comes the classic move, and that is taking the pawn here. And now we have a hanging rook on d1. But his rook is also hanging, so now we could have an exchange with the rooks, which doesn't work. We first have to play an in-between move to get both rooks. And that is by playing this way. And it is correct. Okay, super nice. Hold on. Okay. So, b4 would allow white to demonstrate their idea. A vicious kingside attack. How would you go about it? Game 13. That was yesterday done. And so this is the first review session on them, and I have to find it again. So what did we do yesterday here? I don't remember it anymore. And so we just take. And it is incorrect. Yes. I have to take a closer look. Yeah, immediately forcing a weakening response. Checkmate on g7. And now we have something to play here. And that is check, I think. Move order. I probably do something wrong here, but we will find out, of course. Incorrect. Yeah, first bring the double attack. Okay. Yes, f6 is a very important square, and we should just be careful in not neglecting it. So we just go with the knight. Yes, now I remember. Correct. Yes, incredible. Black is struggling now to even dodge the mate. Let's see a sample line. It is bishop takes, knight check, bishop takes. Again, the knight checks with a check, and g7 and queen. So this is sooner or later mate, and a very nice idea seen in game number 13. Okay, black to play. So black to play, we are in game number 13. Gukesh has the black pieces, and we'll see what was played here. Our bishop is attacked on f6. We have the knight on h5. And also, I remember yesterday it was super late and I was really tired. So I don't really remember what was played here. Do you do you know? I think I played this yesterday and it was wrong, but I played again and we see. Incorrect. It was yes, I didn't understand yesterday why it was this one because my calculation was not correct. So it's black to play now. Okay. And now I can just remove the knight to which square? I think it is f5, also attacking. But maybe I just have to do something else. But it's not protected then. So I just go for the bishop move. Also incorrect. Yesterday I didn't see it. Today I didn't see it. I'm so glad that the review sessions are here because that way in the third, fourth, or fifth review session I will finally know and understand. Okay, it's a brilliant idea. Next move. Black to play. Hmm. Here I don't know. Wasn't the idea knight to f3? It was not. He takes with the pawn. I take with the... No, it doesn't work no matter what. Now the bishop move? Don't remember anymore. I try with the bishop. Again, incorrect. Here, okay. Queen or pawn? I think it's a queen. Yes, finally, one correct. Okay. So, more things coming up here, and it is... this one was easy because it had the... That was the only one that we got right yesterday, and if it's also the one that we will get right today. Hopefully not the only one. Yes, a nice fork. The move 31, knight e4, might be the most costly one for Gukesh. There was a better way to play the same idea. How? It was well, of course, we tried to fork everything on d6, but that all doesn't work. So we have to remove one of the defenders first and then execute the plan. And that was taking e8. Correct. And now bringing it up. Yes, congratulations. I'm now 1 hour on chessable today. Another feature of chessable that tells me, Jan, you are doing well, you're putting in the time, and it's a gamification feature, of course, but I appreciate it. Okay, so here we were good. Everything as I explained. We have 4 more reviews to go. Probably the toughest moment in the game for the world champion. What is the only move that holds? And that is, I remember this from yesterday. We went through it in depth. It is rook b7. Nope, it's not. It's rook f8. Yes, fantastic resource. Okay. So we played this first, and then comes the fork. And now the rook here comes. I mixed that up, of course. Okay, and now we have to find something. And difficult. I didn't know yesterday, and I also seem to not know today. What was it? So why not playing queen f6? Correct. Gukesh tried, but could not find any advantage after this. He played knight takes f7, rook takes c5, and might even be better slightly for black. Okay. 3 more review sessions to go. Okay, this is seemingly a good move. What was played? d2, d4. But it has a lovely refutation netting black a pawn. Can you spot it? Yes, this was indeed nice. I remembered this one. Not trivial too, but it was a very nice fork finish. So we are going to attack the awkwardly placed rook. Got it. And now we can just take here. He takes, boom, he retakes, and here comes the interesting part. Fork. 2 more. Sometimes even the best grandmasters miss basic things. What should have Ding played here? Easy. We have a rook being placed very badly on the 8th file. Correct. And it's gone. So, final one of the reviews. How would have allowed the Indian challenger to play for the initiative? How? Difficult, but I think I can remember. So first it was this one. Then it was by take, double defending, and now moving. And now we have a final move, and that was originally quite hard to find, but it is a very simple one. Rook e6. Got it. Okay. So we just go on exit, and we can start basically with the new chapter and the last chapter. Sad, very sad. I mean, from the bottom of my heart. Today we were in the chat by the Chess Dojo, and Jesse Cry, the Sensei GM owner, founder, he also had the same feeling. So he would just went onto the computer and play some chess just to do something chess related. Okay, making some more thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the grand finale, the final game, Game 14, between world champion Ding Liren and the challenger Gukesh Dommaraju. Actually, right now, I can no longer say that he is a challenger. That is obviously no longer a spoiler for anyone watching this video, that we have got a new world champion. So Gukesh has won the final game, and with that, the title as well. After game 13, I predicted that no matter what is going to happen in said game 14, and potentially beyond with the tie break, it's gonna be drama. And boy, did we end up with the greatest dose of drama and tragedy, really, in game 14. That is the nature of our game, and that is the nature of a world championship match that is down to the wire. So without further ado, let's have a look at what went down yesterday in game 14. Well, for starters, surprise, surprise, we have got a reverse opening again. And that I even lost count. I think it's the 5th or the 6th opening. This time round, a reverse Grunfeld. And here, Gukesh came up with a very clever concept, which I've never seen in this structure. And that was the idea of knight ge7. Now, you might ask, why would you put the knight on e7 instead of knight f6, which is the natural way to control the center? The reason for that is the fact that if I go knight f6 after c4, I do not have a way to respond to this pawn tension in the center in a way that would resolve the pawn tension in a favorable way for black. If I take, obviously, I lose a lot of material with knight c6. If I take on d4 first, then cd is going to lead to an IQP structure where black doesn't really have anything to show in terms of initiative or piece mobility. And if I take on c4, both queen d8 and queen takes c4 look very promising in terms of a superb Catalan, with the Catalan bishop slicing and dicing on the long diagonal. Now, in strong contrast to that, we have got here knight e7. What does that do? What it does is that it allows black after c4 to trade on d4, then play knight c6 again, and then, and this is the key was not to win a tempo. The tempo was absolutely irrelevant. In world champion Ding Liren,
I forgot the mic. I'm sorry, guys. So we just click on the browse section here. We go to game number 14, where we'd like to watch the video. And we just click on, can I just put it out, not fall, but this should be fine.
And the challenger, Gukesh Dommaraju. Actually, right now, I can no longer say that he is a challenger. That is obviously no longer a spoiler for anyone watching this video, that we have got a new world champion. So Gukesh has won the final game, and with that, the title as well. After game 13, I predicted that no matter what is going to happen in said game 14, and potentially beyond with the tie break, it's gonna be drama. And boy, did we end up with the greatest dose of drama and tragedy, really, in game 14. That is the nature of our game, and that is the nature of a world championship match that is down to the wire. So without further ado, let's have a look at what went down yesterday in game 14. Well, for starters, surprise, surprise, we have got a reverse opening again. And that I even lost count. I think it's the 5th or the 6th opening. This time round, a reverse Grunfeld. And here, Gukesh came up with a very clever concept, which I've never seen in this structure. And that was the idea of knight ge7. Now, you might ask, why would you put the knight on e7 instead of knight f6, which is the natural way to control the center? The reason for that is the fact that if I go knight f6 after c4, I do not have a way to respond to this pawn tension in the center in a way that would resolve the pawn tension in a favorable way for black. If I take, obviously, I lose a lot of material with knight c6. If I take on d4 first, then CD is going to lead to an IQP structure where black doesn't really have anything to show in terms of initiative or piece mobility. And if I take on c4, both queen d8 and queen takes c4 look very promising in terms of a superb Catalan with the Catalan bishop slicing and dicing on the long diagonal. Now, in strong contrast to that, we have got here knight e7. What does that do? What it does is that it allows black after c4 to trade on d4, then play knight c6 again, and then, and this is the key was not to win a tempo. The tempo was absolutely irrelevant. The key is the ability to play d4 and thus release this pressure on d5 while maintaining a firm control of the center. That was the brilliant idea behind knight e7. And after e3, bishop c5, we are on uncharted territory already, again on move 10. So once again, this match has delivered yet another game where we played the reverse opening, and by a very early stage, move 10 this time, we have got a position on the board that has never been played before. ED, bishop takes. Now, this is a really cool moment. Most people here would be inclined to take back with the knight, right? We like knights centralized, not bishops. But something doesn't quite feel right about this piece arrangement, and that is exactly the right feeling. It gets punished severely with b4, which cannot be captured due to queen a4 check, and if knight c6, I take that with a check too, and b4 drops. And so, bishop b4 is not playable, and if I drop back, then all of a sudden the development of the white, excuse me, I should probably show you this from this angle. The white pieces are going to be very, very fluid and quick. And now I can play knight e4. I even tested this. The engine loves this move, even though after knight f3, queen f3, technically the two bishops are with black, but boy, after rook d1, good luck holding this together. c5, knight d6, and the story of the c8 bishop is going to be a very sad one, but that is going to be the main character of this position, or rather the story of this position. So, knight d4 was definitely not playable, hence bishop takes d4, knight c3, castles, knight b5, and bishop back. A lot of commentators condemned this move and wanted the bishop to come back to c5. And to me, it feels a lot more natural too. But I cannot really explain why I would think that this is better, other than I'm covering a few important dark squares. But at the same time, now I am more prone to falling into a3, b4. Bishop b6 covers c7, leaves d6 open. But for example, picking off the c8 bishop is no biggie. I can immediately go back, and this really just resolves all my problems. So this is definitely not a way to go. So yeah, bishop b6 seemed fine. And here, very quickly, we got to a position where, after very natural developing moves, everything got traded off. And shout out, by the way, to Team Gukesh, a team that has, by the way, been announced. And it was a very, very sizable team. From the top of my head, I remember Gajewski, the Polish GM, Jan Krzysztof Duda. There was another Polish dude. There were at least 3 Poles in the team. Then Hari Krishna, Vincent Kaimer. That was a surprise to me. Also, it turned out that Anand was kind of part of the team on an on and off basis. So a massive team was supporting the challenger. So yeah, shout out to them again, because out of the opening with black, no worries whatsoever. And I think that Ding kind of got a little bit too rushed, in the sense that he went like, okay, this opening wasn't a success, let's get rid of it this game and go into tie breaks. And he started to trade pieces, but he did so in a fashion that, excuse me, allowed black to trade down into slightly, ever so slightly favorable endgame. Now, why is this endgame slightly favorable? Because black has got the move b4, and that move completely shuts down these two pawns. If white wants to do anything, they will have to play a3 or a4. And at that point, the b3 pawn is going to be weak. Now, I think that Ding's mentality must have been that I can hold the 2 versus 3 any day of the week. But given the time situation, given his history, he lost an identical endgame type against Le Quang Liem, the Vietnamese GM. So there were a fair few reasons why he perhaps should have chosen a different path towards the desired draw. One of them would have been to take this and then undermine the knight with f4. In fact, it almost feels like an attempt to still try to play for an advantage. Admittedly, now white gets a weak pawn on c4, but the knight-pawn combo feels also rather awkward in this scenario. And yeah, I don't think that this would have been a problem for Ding to hold. And unlike in the game, here we are talking about a position with material balance. Instead, we went down straight with these masses of trades. b4 came, a4 came, take, g6. b3 is not capturable because of rook b1, and we lose a piece. Oopsie daisy. It always pays to be cautious. So Ding played g6 instead, and after queen d4, he even played queen b5. Now this was just a chef's kiss move, because here he already could have taken this and then take b3, and we would have landed in the exact same endgame type that he had in the game. But he wanted to just keep on playing moves and burn Ding's clock. And this also is a move that makes you extremely uncomfortable with white, because this is basically a move by white saying, okay, take my pawn, I will hold you to a draw. And then he goes like, nah, let's just play more chess moves. I can take it anytime I like. And you almost feel upset with white, at least emotionally, that your opponent is not taking that pawn and entering a very likely drawish endgame, but instead they just keep on playing moves to simply annoy me. Before, now a move later, this capture did take place, and we arrived at this endgame, which I'm sure is going to be circling around the world in chess press, because in the chess media, because this is really a position that a player of Ding's caliber should be able to hold. But, and this is a very, very important but here. First and foremost, he was running short on time. 2, the pressure is immense, right? Like you are holding to stay alive. That's not the same as no consequences even if I lose it. And 3, it is a lot harder to hold it than what it looks. And so here, I don't really want to comment on any of the moves, because objectively speaking, no matter what you do with black, you can't win. And unless you do something very goofy, you are also very, very, very unlikely to lose with white. So something really, really bad needs to happen for a decisive outcome. Now, what Gukesh did remarkably well in this game is that he elongated this endgame phase as much as he possibly could. And that is a lot more psychology than chess. So the idea was to just keep on playing moves, burn Ding's clock, and break his spirit. It sounds very cruel, but it is what it is. You simply just want to sit there, make moves, and wait for the guy to make a mistake. And if they play 40, 50, 60, 70 perfect moves and they hold a draw, so be it. But you must ensure that they suffer for that draw. Pawn trade happened.
That's really
f4 would
so
have been an
mean.
interesting and potentially tempting
yeah.
move, but then I always have these ideas of h4, takes, king h5, king h4, and then the protected g-pawn is a menace. So trade was logical. And again, as long as you keep this rook here, and your bishop is not parked on a8, you should be golden. Like, there is not really a clear path for white, so for black, excuse me, to make headway. I do curse this move because this was the additional component that allowed rook f2 to be the losing move. So if we do not put the bishop in the corner and just keep the rook on the fourth, it's always gonna be a draw. And even here, like, if you just drop the bishop back and then rook f2, you are golden. So to lose the world championship title to a blunder like this is going to haunt poor Ding forever. I really hope it won't, but it would if it were me. That's for sure. Because now we enter more or less elementary pawn ending that is completely winning. And here Ding was gracious enough to resign. Having said that, this position actually is very often used by coaches to demonstrate a number of ideas in king and pawn endings. So after king d3, I need to demonstrate to you still what the win would have looked like, because I think it's quite impressive. So we go f4. Actually, I'm going to enter this as a new line. Yeah, so king d3, f4. If takes, then I take, and then we walk all the way down, and that's easy peasy, we win. The trick is if they go back. Now pawn takes is a horrific blunder, because the king goes back to f1, king f4. Oh, you know what? I won't even go there. King f5, distant opposition. King g2. G1 is probably even more accurate. King g1, yeah, let's go there. King f4, king g2. And there is no headway to be made. King e4. And even here, king g2 is draw. King f4, back. King f3, king f1, check. King here. And now both g3 and king g3 are stalemates. So this is not the way to win. The way to win is actually to play f3 check. King f2, bring the king in, and play f2. That, friends, is a key idea. You cannot win with the f-pawn. You are going to win with the g-pawn. And to gain access to the g-pawn, you must give up the f1. So now we go as in the f-pawn. King d3, no possibility for a opposition, lateral. So king g2, king g1, we win the pawn, and that's when the sad rule kicks in, that there is no opposition to be had on the back rank for the defending side. King h3, king h1, g3, king g1, and g2, and black wins. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, it was an absolutely dramatic, tragic finish. Nonetheless, Gukesh for sure is a deserving world champion, and Ding fought like a lion, especially considering the circumstances, the way how he prepared, or rather he didn't or couldn't for this world championship match as best as he could. His lack of play, his mental issues added up all together, we must conclude that it was a heroic fight by both. It was a super entertaining world championship match. They have received, the players, that is a fair bit of criticism about the level of play, but level of play and entertainment are often in a weird relationship in chess, because if both players play perfect chess, then we have got 12 or 14 draws. So in order to get fighting chess and a bit of drama, you need a few mistakes. And I think I'd rather pay that price and have a match like this than watch perfect chess and, watch 40 Berlin draws or whatever draws. So that's it. I'm super happy that we have a new and youngest world champion. Awesome stuff by Gukesh, and I really hope that Ding is going to bounce back. I would like to grab this opportunity to thank every one of you who followed our journey across the world championship match and my recap videos here on Chessable. This was a very, very unique course to make. I started recording this in Singapore at the venue, breathing the same air as the players, and sadly I had to come home after game 9 and I recorded the rest from home. But even so, I think it was an even more enjoyable project for me. I really hope you liked it. And I look forward to seeing you again on the Chessable platform with various other courses as well. So thanks for choosing us again. I hope you really did enjoy the World Championship match and my recap videos. Take care. Enjoy your chess. Bye.
Thank you, Andras. I did, of course. So this was really nice. I followed from game 1, and I have like 20 hours now, or 21 hours with solving all the positions. So This was really, really good. And I just check where my position is in the gamification leaderboard. And hold on. Yeah, we can also go through the comments, of course. First comment, the best teacher, nothing too much to say, but it is Andras Toth, one and only when you have the course, 5 stars. Exciting course, 5 stars, pretty good, 5 stars. Great review, and all 2 weeks ago, so basically from the first day. Brilliant commentary from a world-class coach, actually 5 days ago. Excellent educational synopsis 4 hours ago. I really enjoyed Andras' daily recap videos on the World Championship match. He captured all the excitement and energy of the contest, and he included just the right amount of puzzles to encourage me to finish the course. Thanks a million. Yes, I can only second that. It was just really, really nice, and I can only wish all the viewers here take a look at the course, take a look at the daily videos that I did, and try to solve it with us together. So I'm just again trying to click on browse and see if we get the leaderboard here. Yes, there it is. I came in place number 10 with 70,000 points, and I didn't do the reviews like on the daily basis, only when I did a video. So this was really cool. So my thoughts of the World Championship is I was Team Ding at the very start, and I was so happy to see him playing like really, really good for, as Andras just said, the condition he was in and the year he had and so on. And now I was just really sorry that the World Championship ended. This morning, 10 o'clock, the world was empty. There was no chess. So, of course, chess is an ongoing affair with lots of tournaments and everything. And we have the Blitz and Rapid World Championship in New York coming up at the mid of December, which is also going to be very exciting. And it was the very first World Championship that I followed daily, with also going into the positions and not just watching a review and seeing how it went, but really digging into it, doing sweat work, trying to find best moves and everything. And I just really liked it. Most of the moves were over my head, I think, because I'm just a baby chess player, as my coach Barland, International Master Barland Natchejezi, says. So yeah, but still, I felt the right amount of effort was needed to get through the course, and it was just great. Loved it, really liked it. There's one downside is I would have liked to buy merch, like a poster or anything, just as a nice memory of the match, and there was just no shop to buy something. And yeah, if you find something, let me still know, and we'll of course see if I can buy it and have it in the background or something. That would be really nice. Okay, so with that, yeah, I wish you lots of fun playing lots of chess, and thank you for following. And I probably do a recap video of my experience following this course. And yeah, probably will do this. And yeah, if you'd like to, just stay with me. I'm going to stream another session in like 10 minutes. And it will be my chase of the FIDE Online Arena Candidate Master title. I still need 50 games to get the title. And it's going to be exciting. Yeah, and fingers crossed that I can make it, of course. So, thank you so much, and wish you all a very good night, and bye-bye.